Are you on the straight and narrow to supersize your business? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. As a nerdy engineer, I love graphs and data and plots and tracking and objective information, but it's not always available for us. This idiom, this expression today goes along with our month of April theme of spiritual idioms. Spiritual, whatever that means to you, idioms that are related to our spiritual well-being, our spiritual health, to coincide with the annual BU 365-day challenge. So today, our expression is straight and narrow. This, of course, like so many others this month, is derived from the Bible, Matthew 7:13 to 14. And it says something to the effect, because straight and narrow is the gate, and because straight and narrow. Let's start over. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, meaning life after this life here on the planet. And few there be that find it, meaning very few people walk the straight and narrow path that lead to the gates of heaven, or something to that effect. It's used often to describe people who have redeemed themselves, or after some immoral or bad behavior. It's an informal saying. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but usually somebody who has overcome some huge challenge follows a much narrower path of behavior for themselves than prior to having a challenge. So not always the case. Nothing is ever absolute and always true, but it's sometimes that happens. Business owners, the vast majority of business owners I've ever worked with and know, haven't ever had this fantastical fantasy of a success in their KPIs, whatever your KPI is. Maybe it's profits, maybe it's sales, maybe it's number of customers, maybe it's whatever it is for you that you track in terms of results. This is our usual desired plan, right? We expect to start our business and go to $1 billion in a straight line, very short amount of time, with very little deviation from our increasing sales, right? But I drew this pink line because this is what usually happens in our businesses and in our life. We might go along okay for a while, then we have a huge spike, a huge success, followed by a massive failure, and then we start over again and we climb and climb and climb and have successes. But it is never usually that straight line descent or ascent that we want it to be. So how do we, and what does straight and narrow mean as we're supersizing and growing our business? To me, it means I am focusing in on behaving consistently, moving toward what it is that I want, the way that I want to serve people, the way my business is here to change the world. I always encourage people to make the world a better place. If you're just in business for the sake of being in business, that can help positively impact the world if you're not doing anything to harm other people. And again, that's my spiritual belief and my belief about business and life. I think entrepreneurs and business owners are here to make the world a better place. Business owners and entrepreneurs are the only things that create wealth and things in the world, right? Now, artists and everybody else that does creative things falls into that category because they're positively impacting the world. But we're talking about business here in this group. So straight and narrow. Are you on a straight and narrow path to create what it is that you want in the world? For your industry, are you following the same path that most people in your industry do? Or are you carving out your own niche, your own way of doing things, and following that path, that plan? I guess straight and narrow reminds me that what's right for me is probably different than what's right for anybody else. And my path, my journey, as long as it's straight and narrow and going in the direction of what it is that I want, then my path is straight and narrow. When I am listening to outside forces, when I am responding to them instead of being proactive and creating my own path, then my path is much more variable. Then I am more likely to make more mistakes. So I think maybe this reminds us to be true to ourselves and what we know is right for us more than anything else. I'd love to know your experience with the idiom, the expression straight and narrow. Have you spent your whole life on the straight and narrow? When I was younger, till I was about 18, well, I gotta say I had some digressions, some deviations in my teenage years, but for the most part, straight and narrow till I was 18. Went to college, tested a few more boundaries and freedom, but for the most part, lots of my life straight and narrow. This is what's expected of me. this is what I will do, this is what I won't do. I'm pretty good about drawing the line in the sand of what's right for me and what's not right for me. Like I said, with a few deviations along the way, like everybody else on the planet, right? So share in the comments below your experience with this idiom or expression, straight and narrow, or if you've never thought about it before. And I will be with you tomorrow with another spiritual well-being related idiom. I guess we're only in the middle of the month, so several more days of that to coincide with the challenge, the annual challenge. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll be with you tomorrow.